Greetings, warriors. Griffin, how you guys doing? Welcome back to the Good Game Griffin Gaming channel. Back to the video, guys. You know why we're here. You know what was revealed earlier today at 11 a.m. Eastern time when the embargo finally lifted. Now, even though I just wrapped up a video game leakers video, I still didn't believe that embargo until I saw this. However, I was watching a content creator stream last night, and the way he worded it was saying I can tell you guys something very soon. I was like, okay, so it's more than likely true. Now, the information that we are going to be getting, that I'm going to be talking about, is from a non-player's perspective. And when I say non-player, I'm not saying that I'm not a fan of the game. I'm a very big fan. According to experts of RE, that I'm not a true fan because I didn't react to Ashcroft's name in the trailer. That's besides the point. Certified fake fan over here. But what we're going to be getting info from is the players who was at Summer Game Fest who was able to get exclusive look at the gameplay and play 20 minutes of gameplay that they were able to be allowed to play, basically. Okay, now at the same time, we don't know if this is going to be the demo that we're going to hear about at Gamescom in August 19th, and we don't know if it's going to be the same demo that we are going to get as common folk probably in January or February, right? Maybe a couple weeks before the game is released. You know how Capcom does it when it comes to RE demo. But at the same time, I do believe we are going to get a demo. By now, I'm sure you guys have seen the other videos, and maybe also if you guys have social media, you probably saw it on X or anything. There's no gameplay whatsoever. They were not allowed to show that. All right, so the first thing we're going to go over, okay, first thing I'm going to nip in the bud right now. So the whole fan base is already arriving, and I'm not gonna say what I want to say, but it is first and third person. I have to say that it is first and third person. I'm pretty sure you guys saw the video of the reaction of some of the peeps that were at Summer Games Fest when they were showing the game. The reason why some people were actually reacting, or you had like a little bit of a loud applause in there, not too crazy, was because in the menu they show, it said first person's perspective, and then it says third person. So that's probably why the game took a while to be made, because they actually made this game with first person and third person in mind, which is awesome, because as we know in RE8, you know, the gold edition, that third person was cool to have, but it was a little janky here and there. But you know, as fans, we accepted it. I know I did. Next, the players that were able to play this, they're saying that with that first person perspective, it feels like RE7. Now, they only got to play 20 minutes. They are suspecting that it is the very start of the game. In the menu where it says first person, it's in parentheses saying recommended. So some players are assuming that maybe different parts of the game, it'll say maybe recommended for third person. I don't know. Or maybe the recommended is up there because Resident Evil 9 was probably made with heavily first person in mind, but they gave you the option of third person, which is totally okay. I already know I'm gonna play multiple playthroughs of both perspectives, and I'm pretty sure you are too, unless you don't really care about first person or anything like that. You won't never touch it. That's perfectly fine as well. Now, when I say it feels like RE7, what I'm basically saying is when the players were playing, they basically, in this moment, they had to sneak around a lot and everything was pretty quiet, all that stuff like that. We're gonna get more into like what they saw in the game and everything of that nature. And also I had a question, I was curious about something as well, which will be the last part of the video. And I haven't found a video or anything where they discuss that particular portion, but we'll get to that when we get there. So from what I understand in the demo, it starts off with Grace waking up in that bed that we saw in the trailer. She's restrained to it. Now, some players are saying that Grace is probably the most non-combative Resident Evil character. I thought Ashley or maybe young Sherry were probably like the most non-combative player, okay? Like at least I saw that, like, at least in Revelations 2, Homegirl was able to at least point out some items and everything like that. She wasn't combative, but she helped, all right? Young Sherry, I mean, no, and then we're not gonna get into Ashley, all right? But some players were saying that because at the start of the game, it doesn't start off with any guns or anything. All you have is a lighter. That is all you have. So there was no guns, no one was able to kill anything. They confirmed that they didn't kill anything. It was merely just, I don't wanna say walking simulator, but you really didn't do any killing or anything. Now you did, apparently from what they said, you did do some puzzles. You actually had to read a file and find out how to open a door. So you do had to look around and everything. Because the sneaking, a lot of players are saying that's probably why it says recommended for first person, because you are doing a lot of sneaking around. Now, some players did do first person and third person, but they only had 20 minutes. So like one video I saw, the player said that he did the whole thing in first person because apparently that's how it was meant to play, but he did do a little bit of third person and he said it felt a little bit weird. One thing that one player did say, you know, when I say weird, I mean the sneaking area, because this whole thing is about sneaking for an obvious reason, which I'll get into. But apparently one player said he preferred the third person because the first person, Grace is so scared on what she's going through. She's panting, she's whimpering, all that stuff like that, and her footsteps. Apparently the audio for those two things are so incredibly loud from what that particular player is saying that he had to switch it to third person and it was actually rectified. So maybe that could be a key point that Capcom fixes, but at the same time that I only caught one person saying that. I do not know of what the other players are think about that particular portion or that opinion, not sure, but just something to look into, of course, hopefully when we be able to try it out. So the setting for this demo is in a hospital type setting and this big thing stalking Grace. Now, one video that I did see that they did ask Capcom, is this stalking, this big, you already know who I'm talking, well, not who, but what I'm talking about. We saw it in the trailer. They asked if it's gonna be a stalker type throughout the whole game, like Mr. X or Nemesis style, and the woman that he asked could not answer that question. Now, when I say could not answer that question, it's either an I don't know or I can't tell you, all right? Either way, we don't know yet, but we at least do know that this thing is stalking you at this particular portion of the game. I'm going to assume it's the very start of the game because the way they're making it sounds like it's the very start of the game, you know, maybe when Grace is captured or anything, like a beginning portion of the game that this is all happening, okay? But they didn't get the answer to that question. So apparently how this thing appears, Grace is going up to this dead corpse and apparently it's appearing behind her. It takes the corpse and it bites off his head. These players are saying this thing is gigantic, like it is tall AF. They're saying that the trailer does it no justice on how big this creature is. Now, the way the players are describing this thing, I have a hard time believing it's Lisa Trevor. Now, the reason why I say that is because some players that got to play, a majority of them from what I'm getting, some of them are thinking that it is Lisa Trevor specifically because of the chains. I don't want to just simply go off on the chains, but apparently the sounds that she's making and the sound of the chains just sounds like Lisa Trevor. Now, I did state in my one video that I don't think it's her. I'm going to keep up with that opinion because since 1998, when that whole thing was happening, when we saw Lisa Trevor and everything, we're talking about 20 plus years of her possibly roaming free. Now, who's to say that what she's infected with, it didn't mutate and this is what she is now? Now, would I be upset if Lisa Trevor came back? Absolutely not. That'd be cool if she came back and as a stalker enemy and all that stuff like that, because I always found Lisa to be scary to begin with, just because the sound she makes, the music they played in the remake when you saw her, and not only the sounds that the sound of the chain, like, ooh, the sound of the chains get your boy, right? And of course, what's also scary about her, you can't kill her. So I want to see how this is going to play out if it is Lisa Trevor, because you can't kill her in the remake. So if it is her, how are you going to do it here? If there is even a way to do it. Now, next that I want to get into, another character has been confirmed. Who is that person? Capcom didn't tell him, but they did confirm that there is another character and they have an arsenal of weaponry. I'm going to assume it's the merchant, hands down. I'm calling it. I'm lying, obviously. But we got any OG characters that always had an arsenal of weaponry. Now, this does remind me a little bit when they said that there's another character confirmed, but they have an arsenal of weaponry. That could be any character, right? The last time that I can think of this happening where a new character comes in the mix or character that's confirmed and they have an arsenal of weaponry is Revelations 2, Barry. Now, the reason why I say that is because the director did say something about, like, he said this, the title is befitting of Revelations or something along those translations. The way this is described on how fans are saying that, you know, another character is confirmed with the arsenal of weaponry. When Barry came in the scene in Revelations 2, that man was strapped. He came to save his freaking baby girl. So when I hear that, I'm thinking, now I'm not saying that Barry is the character. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the way players are wording it, right? It and a new character is coming in with an arsenal of weaponry. The last time that happened was Barry in that aspect. All right. So that's at least what that reminds me of. And I'm saying, and also I say Revelations 2 because the director said the word revelations. I'm not saying this is Barry. At this point in time, Barry is in his freaking 60s. I'm pretty sure homie is retired at this point. Next thing that I want to say, there is no hint at all of any of the OG characters coming. We're talking 20 minutes of a demo. Nothing was confirmed. No OG characters were shown. I'm pretty sure players asked, but I'm pretty sure the ones who didn't ask probably knew that Capcom ain't gonna tell them that. Obviously, that's like, I know I would love to go to these events at some point, but I know there's some questions that I'm not even gonna waste my time because I know Capcom's not gonna answer. Now, the one question I would have answered was, is this thing gonna be stalking you through the whole game? I definitely would have asked that. That would have been cool because I love that stalking enemy thing, and that's probably because I'm a big fan of RE2, right? And then with RE7, when Jack Baker was stalking you and everything, it was freaking scary. And of course, when he busts that damn wall, still scares the ish out of me. There is one thing before I wrap it up here on all the information that I was able to gather and everything. There's one thing that I had a question about on this whole thing. Now, as a survival horror fan, I have mentioned plenty of times that the deaths need to be brutal, should be brutal. The game should make you feel like garbage for getting your character killed, especially if it's a character that you funk with heavy. The only time I had fun making sure my player died was Abby in Last of Us 2. All right, that was the only time I didn't really care, to be real with you. I did want to find out, try to look through multiple videos, and I could not find anybody, and they probably didn't mention this because maybe they did get killed and they did get caught by this thing. I want to see what happens, because there's a screenshot where it looks like you are being attacked by this thing. I'm not sure if it's a one-hitter quitter like the baby was in RE8. None of the players mentioned that, at least any videos that I saw. If it is on X or Twitter, I don't know. Like I said, I don't have social media, so I don't freaking know. I have to Google it and I couldn't find it. So no one that I was able to find has said how or what happens if Grace is caught by this thing. And I'm pretty sure some people got caught by it, and Capcom just said, whatever happens to you, don't tell the death scene. It doesn't necessarily bother me, but that was one question that I did have, and I hopefully would have answered. Because I know if I had 20 minutes, if I was able to beat the demo, I definitely would have went through it again in third person or whatever, and then also not only that, see what happens if she got how she got killed, or if she just got hit or anything. That's always the thing when it comes to these a lot of Resident Evil characters. Is it a one-hitter quitter, or does it give you a shot? You know, does it grab you and you can shake it off or something like that? I don't know. You never know. Some of the players were playing in first person the most, from what I understand. They did try both, but a lot of them were saying the way it felt flowed smoothly, more smooth with first person. So I'm going to assume that Capcom made this with mainly first person in mind, but gave the option for third person and made it better than what that janky-ish was in the gold edition for RE Village. Now, of course, that is the perspective of those players. Of course, as the masses, we'll all have our different thoughts, of course, on that. And of course, me, and I'm pretty sure like you guys, or majority of you guys are gonna play from both perspective. But I'm pretty sure when we start off with first person, a lot of us are gonna change to third person, and we'll make our decision right then and there if we want to continue the whole game through that. Either way, y'all, that is the information I was able to receive and some of my thoughts and my questions and everything from what I was able to gather on this. Guys, I'm freaking excited. No, there's no gameplay. I'm 100% okay with that. There literally is going to be a demo where more people can play it at Gamescom, and maybe then Capcom will allow the players who were there give a little bit more information. Okay, so as of right now, that's really all I have on that. I wish I could have got this video out sooner, but anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and everything. Please, you guys have been killing it with the subscriptions, the comments, the likes. I have literally read every single comment. I promise y'all, I have read every single comment. I am just as excited as you all, and I'm pretty sure you guys can tell. Once again, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love you guys. Please, I'll see you guys in the next Resident Evil video that we can, hopefully, we'll get some more stuff or anything, and that's when we'll talk about it again or anything. If you have any opinions or what you guys think about what we talked about, what other videos you guys saw about the demo that you have, or any questions that you may have as well that you're concerned about, hey, yo, leave in the comments, let me know, because I'm like, I can write that down, like, ooh, I'm wondering that too. That'd be some good stuff. Anyway, I love you guys. Y'all take care.